All right, it is currently 4:18 in the morning. I'm Fred Gossage along with Andrew Weiss in the Shoals Weather Storm Track Center. Need to start doing some live updates here this morning because we have a brand new tornado watch in effect for all of our Mississippi counties and our West Tennessee counties until 10 a.m. This does not include any of the Alabama portion of our coverage area at this time. We think that'll be later this morning. But a tornado watch now until 10 a.m. for the counties here in green in portions of our coverage area. In the Mississippi portion of our coverage area, that's Alcorn, Prentiss, Tishomingo, and Itawamba counties. Tornado watch till 10 a.m. In Tennessee, that's McNairy and Hardin counties. Tornado watch till 10 o'clock. So we'll take you to Storm Track Doppler radar and we'll show you what's going on. Nothing going on over the coverage area right now. We have some light spotty showers moving northward over northwest Alabama. These are not related with thunder. They're not severe. They're also not going to stabilize us and weaken the instability, so don't get that in your mind. But these are lifted northward. You may have some light to moderate showers here over the next hour or so. This is actually a sign that the moisture is increasing across the area, and the instability will only be building through the morning. So I'll expand the view. And why do we have the tornado watch out in North Mississippi and West Tennessee? It's this powerful line of thunderstorms back near the Mississippi River. We've had widespread wind damage reports with this. We've had tornado debris signatures back in northern Louisiana. We've had substantial damage. This line of thunderstorms has a significant history. Individual thunderstorms within the line are moving north-northeast as fast as 70 to 75 miles an hour, while the whole entire line overall is gradually shifting eastward. So even though there's a tornado watch in effect for North Mississippi and West Tennessee, and we think it's valid, we think it needs to be in place, it's still going to be a few hours before the storms reach those locations. So the tornado watch is for you to go ahead and prepare to be able to seek shelter. So if you're in these areas, storm shelters are probably going to start opening now well ahead of the storms. And if you're in a mobile home, what you need to do is go ahead and go to the location of your storm shelter. That way you're not scrambling at the last minute with a tornado bearing down on you. The watch is for you to get within steps of your shelter location. And then when a warning is issued, go ahead and hunker down. So the tornado watch for North Mississippi, West Tennessee is to give you plenty of lead time to get ready to seek shelter. And if you're in a mobile home, that's a really good idea because you can't wait until a warning's issued later today. These storms will be moving 60, 70 miles an hour forward speed or faster. They won't have to go around curves. They won't have to stop for stop signs or traffic lights. They'll just fly on through, and they'll be moving very rapidly. So when a warning is issued, you won't have time to think about it. You'll have to just hunker down and seek shelter. So use the tornado watch as time to prepare and then get ready to go to shelter. Now, the tornado watch is not in effect for any Alabama counties at this time. We think we're probably a few to several hours away from that. The tornado watch also doesn't include southern middle Tennessee. Again, we're probably a few to several hours away from that. We think arrival time in our tornado watch counties is sometime between 7 and 8 a.m. But now is the time to go ahead and start being weather aware and prepare for the threat. This is a significant threat across the entire coverage area today. I know the Storm Prediction Center has been waffling back and forth on whether we're under a level 2 risk, whether we're under a level 3, whether we're in yellow, whether we're in orange. Don't worry about that. Just use this time to prepare for severe weather. Know that the entire coverage area has a significant risk of damaging winds and tornadoes later today, from about the mid to late morning through the mid-afternoon. We're using the general window of opportunity from about 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. across the entire coverage area, moving from west to east. We have forecast information on the Shoals Weather Facebook page. So after this update is over, you can go to our Facebook page, find our morning update. Again, this is a significant risk of damaging winds and tornadoes across the entire coverage area. It will increase over the next several hours as thunderstorms approach during the late morning hours. Damaging winds in excess of 70 to 80 miles an hour are possible with several of the storms, and there may be several tornadoes embedded within the line today. And even though it's a line of storms, we usually don't use this type of wording with a line of storms, but even though it's a line of storms, a few of the tornadoes in the line could be strong. And by strong, we mean EF2 or greater. Think back to what happened in Lawrence County and in Colbert Heights on December 16th. That was the line of storms. That wasn't individual supercells. And we still had strong damaging tornadoes in the line that day. That's very possible with this setup. And this setup is actually more serious looking than the December 16th event. We don't say that to scare you, but we say that to give you the reality of the situation, that this is a significant threat. There could be strong tornadoes within the line, EF2 or greater possible. Not a guarantee. Not everyone will see one, but they are possible in the line. And if the line comes in a little more broken and cellular, that would increase the tornado threat. If any individual storms out ahead of the line develop, that would also increase the tornado threat. And by increase the tornado threat, we mean that would mean an even higher risk of strong tornadoes. So it's a very serious weather situation today. This is the kind of day where don't just take tornado warnings seriously. Treat the severe thunderstorm warnings just like you would tornado warnings. If you get under a severe thunderstorm warning today, go ahead and go to your safe place like you would under a tornado warning. These severe thunderstorms are capable of structural damage today with the wind damage. Wind gusts could go to hurricane force, 75 miles per hour or greater. That's very possible with storms today, in addition to the tornado threat. So that's the situation for the coverage area. Again, a tornado watch in effect for North Mississippi counties and West Tennessee counties until 10 a.m. None of the Alabama or Southern Middle Tennessee counties are included. I'll take you back to Storm Alert to show you that. The counties in bright green, tornado watch till 10 a.m. In our coverage area, that's Alcorn, Prentiss, Tishomingo, and Itawamba counties in Mississippi, and McNairy and Hardin counties in Tennessee. No other counties included in the tornado watch yet, but that will be changing in the hours ahead. So if you're just tuning in at the end of this Facebook Live, give it about 15 minutes after it ends. Let it process. Facebook will let you go back and watch it. We're going to hold off on any other live updates on Facebook until we start getting more warnings issued, or unless a new watch is issued. But we will have live updates on our YouTube stream that we have going at the top and bottom of every hour, as long as the tornado watch is in effect. So our next live update is going to be on YouTube at 5 a.m., but we'll come back sooner if necessary on Facebook Live. And if any county today has issued a tornado warning in the Shoals Weather coverage area, we will have live streaming coverage nonstop on Facebook Live and YouTube. For Andrew Weiss and Drew Richards, I'm Fred Gossage live in the Shoals Weather Storm Track Center. Stay with Shoals Weather. We'll keep you advised. Let's not worry about that too much today. All right, it's currently 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm Fred Gossage along with Drew Richards and Andrew Weiss in the Shoals Weather Storm Track Center. Got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for portions of the Shoals Weather coverage area. Have a severe thunderstorm warning that includes portions of Prentiss County in Mississippi until 6:45 this morning. We also still have the tornado watch over northern Mississippi and our western Tennessee counties until 10 a.m. Let's go to Storm Track Doppler radar. And it's this very intense line of thunderstorms back over Tennessee, or West Tennessee and northern Mississippi that we're watching very carefully. Damaging winds of 60 to as high as 80 miles an hour are very possible. Possibly some gusts even higher than that. Can't be ruled out. Back in Tunica, Mississippi, we have widespread tree and power line damage. A wind gust was recorded as high as 80 miles an hour there. So we know that this is producing widespread tree and power line damage. It's producing widespread power outages. We know it's producing major wind damage. So take these severe thunderstorm warnings very seriously. This is the kind of day when you want to take a severe thunderstorm warning about the same way you would as a tornado warning. And when you get in the severe thunderstorm warning, go ahead and just get to an interior room on the lowest floor away from windows. So we'll talk about who's involved here. It's southwestern areas of Prentiss County under a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:45, and it's really just this southwest corner here from the west side of Booneville back through Baldwin and Gville. Out here near the airport, it's along and west of Highway 45, south of Jumpertown, again until 6:45. Severe thunderstorm warning for Prentiss County, and I'll time out this portion of the line that the warning is for. Now the whole line extends up and down, and there may be severe thunderstorm warnings soon for McNairy County, Tennessee, and Alcorn County in Mississippi, so new warnings are very possible. But I'll time out the portion of the line that is prompting the warning here for the next 45 minutes. Let's see. Go out, we'll say about 60 miles an hour just to be safe. Now we're talking about Jumpertown by 6:28, Baldwin 6:31, Wheeler 6:31. The Booneville area by 6:33, Rienzi by 6:35, and if it holds together over in the Glen and New Site by 6:42, 6:43. Again, damaging straight line winds of 60, 70, can't rule out 80 mile per hour wind gusts, very possible. We will be watching the line of thunderstorms very carefully for any signs of rotation, but right now there are no tornado warnings for any of these storms. Let's switch over to the graphics and I'll talk a little bit about what to expect today. There is a significant threat of damaging straight line winds and tornadoes across the entire coverage area today. Do not worry about if you're in a level 2 risk, a level 3 risk, an orange risk, a yellow risk, a red risk, whatever. Don't worry about that. The threat of tornadoes, the threat of damaging straight line winds is very significant. Damaging straight line winds could be in excess of 70 to 80 miles per hour. Can't rule out a 90 mile per hour wind gust. The wind fields are very strong today, so the environment does support that. There may be several tornadoes embedded within the line today, and because of the ingredients in place, kind of similar to what happened on December 16th, even though we're talking about a line of thunderstorms, a few of the tornadoes may be strong, talking about EF2 or higher on the damage scale. So strong tornadoes are possible today area-wide. Damaging winds of 70 to 80 miles an hour are possible area-wide. Now, we're going to do the timeline a little different because instead of trying to be cute and trying to be picky and time out the line of thunderstorms, I want to time out when I want you to pay attention to the weather. And over western Tennessee and northern Mississippi, that is between now and 2 o'clock this afternoon. And I'm extending that until 2 o'clock because down around Itawamba County, Mississippi, there may be a secondary line where this first one moves north and the storms back in western Mississippi move in during the early afternoon. So in North Mississippi, West Tennessee, I want you to pay attention to the weather starting now. In northwest Alabama and southern middle Tennessee, here we're talking about Wayne and Lawrence counties in Tennessee, down through Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin, Lawrence, portions of Winston, Marion counties in Alabama. I want you to start paying attention to the weather, be extra alert. by 8 o'clock. It's very possible by 7 to 8 a.m. we may see a tornado watch, possibly a little sooner than that, over Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee. And then closer to the I 65 corridor, we're talking about Giles County, Tennessee, and then Limestone, Morgan, Coleman, Eastern Lawrence, Eastern Winston counties in Alabama. We want you alert by 10 a.m. That doesn't mean the storms are going to arrive by 8 o'clock in Florence and Russellville and Hamilton, but we want you to start paying attention by 8 o'clock as the threat of severe weather starts to move in. Again, this is a significant, substantial risk for the entire area, regardless of what risk level you're in. There's a significant threat of damaging straight line winds of 70 to 80 miles an hour, and a few strong tornadoes EF2 or greater are possible embedded within the line, and there may be several tornadoes today. So we'll watch the situation very carefully. We're going to go ahead and end this Facebook Live. But again, to wrap up, severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern areas of Prentiss County till 6:45, all of North Mississippi and western Tennessee in a tornado watch until 10 a.m., and a tornado watch very likely across our other Tennessee counties and our Alabama counties here probably within the next 1 to 2 hours. We'll have further updates throughout the day as needed. We're going to wrap up this Facebook Live, though. We'll be right back if a new tornado watch is issued further east or if any warnings are issued. And keep in mind today, if any county in the Shoals Weather coverage area is issued a tornado warning, we'll be live here on Facebook Live and YouTube with nonstop weather coverage. For Drew Richards and Andrew Weiss, I'm Fred Gossage, live in the Shoals Weather Storm Track Center. Stay with Shoals Weather. We'll keep you advised. All right, it's currently 6:11 in the morning. I'm Fred Gossage along with Drew Richards and Andrew Weiss in the Shoals Weather Storm Track Center. We also have Harrison Nix and Riley Blackwell on the way for full team coverage today. A brand new severe thunderstorm warning has come out for a few more counties in the Shoals Weather coverage area. We now have severe thunderstorm warnings for portions of far southern McNairy County in Tennessee, all of Alcorn County in Mississippi, and now northern Prentiss County, in addition to western Prentiss County, Mississippi. That severe thunderstorm warning rolls until 7 o'clock. Keep in mind, tornado watch for all of North Mississippi, western Tennessee till 10 a.m. They're probably going to be issuing a tornado watch here pretty soon over North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. So just heads up, storms are getting closer. I haven't heard from the Storm Prediction Center yet, but a tornado watch is very likely here pretty soon. Let's go to Storm Track Doppler radar and I'll show you the areas of concern. We have a very intense line of thunderstorms over here approaching Ripley, Mississippi. This is moving toward the US 45 corridor from south of Selmer down through Corinth and Booneville. It's moving eastward at about 55 to 60 miles an hour. So I'll draw a track on this whole portion of the line. It's severe warned. And we'll extend this out at 60 miles an hour. We're talking about Jumpertown by 6:28, Baldwin by 6:32, Guys by 6:33, Booneville by 6:33, Corinth by 6:35, Farmington by 6:39, Glenn, Mississippi by 6:41 if it holds together, Burnsville by 6:47 if it holds together. Now we see no reason why these storms are not going to hold together as they move in. The environment is getting primed. We're now up to 70 degrees at the Muscle Shoals Airport. And we've just hit just after 6 o'clock. So the environment is primed, is unstable, is supportive for major severe weather, even though the line is ahead of the original schedule that we'd earlier been talking about. So damaging winds in excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour are possible. Seeing some radar indications here of winds much stronger. Let's switch over to the live Viper ThreatNet. And I have what's called the Baron button on here. This is a radar product that combines the wind speeds, the hail size, and the rainfall rates in one product. And the areas of orange and yellow you see are where the radar indicates winds of 80 to 100 miles an hour possible. Now that is in the radar beam, and that's a few thousand feet aloft. But as that transfers down, wind gusts could still exceed 70 to 80 miles an hour. So this isn't your regular summertime severe thunderstorm where you may see a little wind gust or you may see some hail. This is the kind of day where you need to treat severe thunderstorm warnings like they're a tornado warning. So if you're in this severe thunderstorm warning area now, and I'm going to talk about some communities. If we go back to Storm Track Doppler radar here, we're talking about Gville, Baldwin, Booneville, Corinth, Kellam Hollow, Farmington, Glenn, as far north as southern areas of Guys, Tennessee. All these areas here along the US 45 corridor from the Tennessee state line down to Baldwin, Mississippi. You want to go to an interior room on the lowest floor away from windows. There is a threat of significant straight line wind damage. There's already been widespread trees and power lines down, widespread power outages, and wind gusts recorded as high as 80 miles an hour in northern Mississippi. So you really want to take this seriously. We are getting new information that a tornado watch is likely soon over northern Alabama and areas of middle Tennessee. Let's see.
Possibly Albany, Kentucky.
Yeah, possibly as far north as Kentucky here for the tornado watch. So tornado watch is going to be coming for North Alabama and southern middle Tennessee here very soon. Talking about strong wind gusts and QLCS tornadoes, the main threat. And again, even though this is a line of thunderstorms today, instead of these big supercells, there is still the risk of strong tornadoes embedded within the line, just like back on December 16th in Colbert Heights and Town Creek. A few of the tornadoes in the line today may be EF2 or higher in intensity. This is a serious weather situation. We want to take you very seriously today. So far southern McNairy, all of Alcorn, and western and northern areas of Prentiss County, Mississippi, you're under severe thunderstorm warning until 7 o'clock. tornado watch for our Mississippi and West Tennessee counties until 10 a.m., but a new tornado watch will be coming soon for North Alabama and Middle Tennessee. We're going to end this Facebook Live, but we'll have new cut-ins if once the tornado watch is issued, and if there are any more severe thunderstorm warnings, we'll have new cut-ins on Facebook Live and YouTube. And keep in mind, if any county in the Shoals weather coverage area has issued a tornado warning, we'll be right back with live non-stop weather coverage. For Drew Richards and Andrew Weiss, I'm Fred Gossage, live in the Shoals Weather Storm Track Center. Stay with Shoals Weather. We'll keep you advised. right, it's 6:21 in the morning. I'm Fred Gossage along with Drew Richards and Andrew Weiss in the Shoals Weather Storm Track Center. Have another severe thunderstorm warning to talk about. This new severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 7 o'clock for all of McNairy County, Tennessee, and for western Hardin County, Tennessee. Keep in mind, severe thunderstorm warning is also in effect for Alcorn and Prentiss counties until 7 a.m. Tornado watch for all of West Tennessee and North Mississippi until 10 a.m. And a new tornado watch coming for North Alabama and Middle Tennessee very soon. I'll take you to Storm Track Doppler radar. And we've already talked in detail about the North Mississippi portion of the line. So let's talk about the new areas. It's the line of thunderstorms we have back here from Middleton to Hornsby. This is moving eastward at about 55 to 60 miles an hour. So we'll draw the track on here for the next 45 minutes. And I'll extend this out to 60 miles an hour. And we're talking about Bethel Springs by 6:31, Raymer and Fanger by 6:32, Selmer by 6:33, Guys, Tennessee by 6:35, Eastview 6:35, Mickey, Tennessee and Stantonville, Tennessee by 6:42, Adamsville by 6:44, Crump by 6:48, the Savannah area by 6:52, Clifton by 7:05. Again, damaging straight line winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour, possibly as high as 80 miles an hour, very possible with this line of thunderstorms. Excuse me. And we will be vigilantly watching for any signs of rotation because there is a significant risk of both damaging straight line winds and tornadoes today with the line, and a few of the tornadoes could be strong. So we'll watch the situation very carefully. Severe thunderstorm warning again until 7 a.m. for all of McNairy County, western Hardin County, Alcorn County, and much of Prentiss County. Tornado watch very soon for North Alabama. Tornado watch already in effect for North Mississippi and West Tennessee until 10 a.m. We'll have further live updates as warnings are issued through the morning, and live non-stop coverage if tornado warnings are issued in the Shoals Weather coverage area. For Drew Richards and Andrew Weiss, I'm Fred Gossage, live in the Shoals Weather Storm Track Center. Stay with Shoals Weather. We'll keep you advised. All right, it is currently 6:38 in the morning. I'm Fred Gossage along with the entire Shoals Weather Storm Track team. We have new severe thunderstorm warnings up for several counties here. Let's look storm alert. You see the yellow county severe thunderstorm warnings. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning for portions of western Itawamba County and southern Prentiss County. That goes until 7:15. Still have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for McNairy, Hardin, Alcorn, and northern areas of Prentiss counties as well. That's all the counties here on yellow and storm alert. Tornado watch in effect for all of these counties, as well as Tishomingo County, Mississippi, till 10 a.m. And a new tornado watch will be coming soon for northwest Alabama and for middle Tennessee. Let's go to Storm Track Doppler radar, and we'll track these storms for you. Have a line of very intense thunderstorms moving across northeast Mississippi and west Tennessee with a history of significant wind damage, getting reports of substantial structural damage back over northern Mississippi, and some unconfirmed reports of possible injuries back over Marshall County, Mississippi. We'll be working to confirm that behind the scenes. But very substantial situation across the area today. We'll track some of these new areas that are under the warning. And we're talking about from Booneville southward through Baldwin, New Site, and Marietta in Prentiss County. And then in Itawamba County, we're talking about from Fulton westward. We're talking about Kirkville, Mantachie, Fulton, Ballardsville, and Carolina in western areas of Itawamba County. You're under this severe thunderstorm warning till 7:15. Damaging straight line winds in excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour are very possible. Can't rule out some gusts to 80 miles an hour. And we will be watching the line of thunderstorms very vigilantly for potential rotations, because any tornado warning within the line, there could be a strong tornado today. Even though we're talking about a line of thunderstorms, there could be a few embedded tornadoes that are EF2 or stronger.
And Fred, I'd like to add too today, treat any severe thunderstorm warning today as a tornado warning, just because of the chance of high winds. It still can cause significant damage. So even if you don't have a tornado warning for your area, if you're under a severe thunderstorm warning, it would still probably be a good idea to take shelter.
Yeah, and we're already seeing the evidence of that kind of structural damage back over northern Mississippi and western Tennessee. Andrew, have you had any reports over there?
Just several reports back off to the west of this line of storms moving through parts of North Mississippi. Initial reports back from around Gleason and Weakley County, Tennessee. Train spotter reports thunderstorm wind damage there. And just got a new severe thunderstorm warning pop up for Harding, McNairy, Tennessee, and Henderson. A few other places. Most of the damage reports are consistent with damage in straight line winds. One report getting reports of a roof blown off of a school in Sumner. That's in Tallahatchie County. And just a few more reports other than what we was talking about earlier. The firefighter in Marshall County, Mississippi, reporting damage along Mississippi Highway 4 with several structures damaged.
All right, thank you, Andrew. We're going to switch over to Drew Richards. Still our mic. And we're going to switch to Vortex Storm Scan here. And Drew's going to talk about a brand new severe thunderstorm warning we have for portions of McNairy and Hardin counties in Tennessee.
Yep, thank you, Fred. New severe thunderstorm warning for McNairy and Hardin counties goes until 7:45. This does include Selmer, Savannah, Saltillo, really pretty much along and north of US Highway 64, Stantonville, Adamsville, Bethel Springs as well. And damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour is possible with this storm moving northeast at 80 miles per hour. So the storm itself is moving at 80 miles per hour. So again, expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees possible. You do not need to be in your vehicle as these storms move through. You've got, again, US 64. You've got State Highway 22 that goes north out of Adamsville. Do not need to be on that highway right now because this line of storms is plowing through that area. And then you've also got State Highway 69 that runs from the Alabama-Tennessee line through Savannah, and then again it goes north from US 64. So again, severe thunderstorm warning, northern McNairy, northern Hardin counties. Damaging wind threat is very real with this storm. I'm going to switch over to another product real fast, showing some of the rotation in the line. And there you can see on the red here on radar, that's just showing very, very intense wind as this line of storms is moving in. So I definitely think the damaging wind threat is high, like we've been talking about all morning. Treat this line of storms, like Riley just said a few minutes ago. Go ahead and move to your tornado shelter, because there may very well be spin up tornadoes happening right now in this line of storms that we just cannot detect from radar because they happen so quick. So take this line of storms seriously. Again, severe thunderstorm warning, northern Hardin, northern McNairy counties until 7:15.
All right, we'll switch back to storm track Doppler radar, and we'll talk about some times of arrival for this portion of the line of thunderstorms. It's moved through the eastern portion of Selma. Now it's running out there along Highway 64. We're talking about Stantonville by 6:43, Adamsville by 6:44, Milledgeville and Morris Chapel by 6:46, Crump, Tennessee by 6:47, Savannah by 6:50, Saltillo by 6:53, Clifton, Tennessee by 7:02, and if it holds together, which we think it will, Lutz, Tennessee by 7:04, 7:11 by the Waynesboro area. Again, no warning in effect for Wayne County, but it'll happen down the line as the line of thunderstorms approaches. Again, damaging winds in excess of 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. Structural damage is very possible, if not likely, with this line of thunderstorms. And we're starting to see numerous reports of significant damage and structural damage coming out of Tennessee and Mississippi. This is a significant severe weather situation with the potential for major wind damage and embedded strong EF2 plus tornadoes across the entire coverage area today. So we'll take you back to storm alert before we end this live update here. Severe thunderstorm warnings for McNairy and Hardin counties in Tennessee, for Alcorn, Prentiss, and Itawamba counties in Mississippi. All those counties and Tishomingo County in Mississippi under a tornado watch till 10 o'clock. But a new tornado watch will be coming soon for North Alabama and Middle Tennessee. We don't have the details on that, but that will be coming soon. We will have live updates through the morning as warnings are issued. And keep in mind, if any county in the Shoals Weather coverage area is issued a tornado warning, we'll be right back with live nonstop weather coverage. For the entire Shoals Weather Storm Track team, I'm Fred Gossage, live from the Shoals Weather Storm Track Center. Stay with Shoals Weather. We'll keep you advised. All right, it is currently 6:52 in the morning. I'm Fred Gossage along with the entire Shoals Weather Storm Track team here in the Shoals Weather Storm Track Center. No new warnings have come out within the last few moments, but we're starting to see a very suspicious, very dangerous radar signature in southern Prentiss County we really want to talk about. You're looking at Storm Track Doppler radar here. We're probably going to be live here nonstop here for at least a little bit, even though there's not a tornado warning. Let's go to Vortex Storm Scan, please, and let's switch to Storm Relative Velocity. And zoom in just a little bit. Yeah, Drew, thank you. We have this tight rotation signature here along Highway 45 between Baldwin and Wheeler. This is moving very rapidly northeast at about 55 to 65 miles an hour. It's moving out toward Marietta and New Site out here in the eastern areas of the county after it gets out of the Baldwin and Wheeler communities. It's moving very quickly, but it's held together for several radar scans. You're looking at our rotation product here and very intense winds, very intense rotation signature here. I'm not sure this is a tornado, but if it's not a tornado, and there's not a tornado warning, but if it's not a tornado warning, there could be major straight line wind damage happening here. So we just want to talk about this for a couple moments. We'll switch back to storm relative velocity. Back to storm track Doppler radar. Sorry about that. And I will do some communities in the path of this storm and approximate arrival time. So we're going to go out for, let's see, 65 miles an hour for the next 45 minutes. Talk about Marietta here at 7 o'clock. Altitude 703. New Site 704. If it holds together in the Tishomingo County, Paden by 712. Dennis by 713, Tishomingo by 714, Maud by 720, and then we're starting to talk about areas over here in southwest Colbert County, Alabama, a little bit before 7:30. No warnings in effect. Definitely no tornado warnings in effect for Tishomingo or Colbert counties. No severe thunderstorm warnings either, but severe thunderstorm warnings very likely will be issued over the course of this storm line moving eastward. But we're seeing a substantial radar signature that could be producing wind gusts of 70 to 80 miles an hour, if not higher, and possibly a tornado here near the Baldwin community. And that's moving off to the northeast and northeast about 55 to 60 miles an hour. Riley, you have some information here on Viper ThreatNet. I think you're tracking the same storm as well.
Yes, this one's going to be moving just to the northwest of Florence if it continues on its current track. It's got a BTI of a 7.5, which is extremely significant. I don't even think we saw numbers that high with the last tornado threat we had a few weeks ago.
No, December 16th, they did not run quite this high.
And with a shear rate of 104 miles per hour. So if this holds together, this could be significant. Definitely going to cause damage, whether it's straight line winds or tornado. If you're in the path, even if you're not issued a tornado warning, like we said earlier, even if you're not in a tornado warning, more than likely still need to take shelter because we've already received reports of significant damage, even from straight line winds.
That rotation got tighter on SRV.
We have a tornado warning.
Good deal.
All right, we have a tornado warning for portions of Prentiss and Tishomingo counties. Let's switch back to storm track Doppler radar. So we're going to stay here live. Brand new severe tornado warning for central and southern area and eastern areas of Prentiss County, central southern Tishomingo County. This is going to run until 7:45. So we're going to be nonstop here at least for 7:45. And as that's being issued, a tornado watch for all of our Alabama counties and middle Tennessee counties. We'll get information on that, but you saw that pop up on Storm Alert now. Every county in the Shoals Weather coverage area now under a tornado watch. That includes North Alabama, but now tornado warnings for Prentiss and Tishomingo counties. It's very reminiscent of where that tornadic circulation developed back on December 16th. If you remember, our very first tornado warning was back near Baldwin, Mississippi for that Guntown tornado. We're seeing the very same situation here developing on Storm Track Doppler radar with the rotation east of US 45 north of Baldwin, moving northeast rapidly at about 50 miles an hour toward the New Site and Marietta communities. So I will draw a track on here. We'll talk about this.
Brady, take that a little bit if you can, just the northern part of the, definitely, if anybody in the polygon, you need to be taking your tornado precautions, but just on the last few loops,
Okay.
Looks like that thing is moving a little bit on the north side of the polygon, a little bit more towards Iuka.
Okay. And let me redraw that since we've...
It may, again, move a little bit more east, but as of right now, it's moving pretty much near Holcut and just south of Iuka.
Okay. So if you are in the path of the storms, these are the approximate arrival times with the tornado warning here. Talk about Marietta here within the next couple of minutes, 7:01. Boonville by 7:02. New Site, 7:06. Payton, 7:16. Holcut by 7:17, and the same for Tishomingo, 7:17. 7:24 from Alden Bishop. Malone by 7:26. Then if it holds together into portions of northwest Alabama, we may be talking about Mountain Hester and Cherokee just after 7:30, but no warnings in effect for Alabama right now. But as the storms continue to hold together and honestly intensify as they approach, that could very well change. But again, tornado warning in effect for a large part of central and eastern areas of Prentiss County in Mississippi, central and southern areas of Tishomingo County, Mississippi till 7:45. And we'll just put the polygons on here and talk about the communities. We're talking about Baldwin, Gville, Boonville, Altitude, Marietta, New Site, Holcut, as far north as Iuka, Tishomingo, Belmont, Dennis, and again as far north as downtown Iuka, tornado warning till 7:45.
Weather Service says circulation still tightening up south of Boonville, northeast of Wheeler.
Okay.
And I've got a very suspicious radar signature right here, just
Yeah,
southeast
let's
of
switch
Boonville.
back to Vortex, and Drew, I'll let you talk about that here for just a moment.
Gotcha. Yeah, we're definitely seeing. I'm going to go back one scan on radar, and you can see where our icon is here for the circulation, and then you can see, and just got to update how the storm is wrapping into itself. So the tornado is coming. If we have a tornado on the ground, it's going to be coming near State Highway 4 and Highway 30, where they intersect just on the east side of Boonville. Flip over to our debris tracker. I don't see any indication that we have debris being lofted in the air just yet, but again, based on the Weather Service, based on what we're seeing here, circulation continues to strengthen as it's moving just on the southeast side of Boonville. Again, a State Highway 4, this is crossing you right now. Going to go back to our rotation product, and you can see again, very, very high winds all throughout this area. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see winds in excess of 70 coming through Boonville right now. And then you've got the circulation coming across State Highway 4 as we speak. It'll be moving across State Highway 30 in the next really 2 to 3 minutes. These storms are moving about 80 miles per hour. And again, what we may be seeing is almost like a gust front. So the tornado may be occluding right now, getting wrapped in itself. It may have dropped a brief tornado on the south side of Boonville, and it looks like to me we're having a surge of southwest winds here coming across Highway 4 and right where the circulation is. So again, if we don't have a tornado on the ground, we've got very, very damaging winds coming into
I'll
that
say
area.
with the reflectivity structure you were showing there, this looks like a supercell embedded
Yes.
within the line. So if this wraps up, there could be a strong tornado produced from this. Now, if we'll switch over to Viper ThreatNet, Riley has a product called Future Track. This is where the radar is projected up to an hour into the future in 5-minute increments. Riley's going to talk a bit about that as he tracks the storm into the future for an hour and talk about where this thing is going.
As of right now, it seems like it'll be moving somewhat north of downtown Florence into barely clipping the northwestern part of Alabama. But still, you can see the reflectivity is still very, very strong. Very dark colors indicate a high reflectivity. And really not losing any strength as it moves out of Mississippi over Pickwick Lake in Tennessee. So it's definitely something to watch. Now, this is not right now. This is a future cast, but this is factoring in several different parameters that's already happening within the storm to track it up into an hour, like Fred said. So this is definitely something to watch. Be ready to take your getting your safe place immediately as soon as we call out your town, because this is already showing extremely strong, extremely strong signature on radar.
Yeah. So while we've been talking about that, new severe thunderstorm warnings have been issued just north of the tornado warning for northern areas of Prentiss County, central and eastern areas of Alcorn County, and now northern Tishomingo County. So if you're from Farmington and Corinth down through Rienzi and the north side of Booneville, back over through Burnsville, Glenn, Iuka, the north side of Iuka, Short, and the Dosky area, you're now under a severe thunderstorm warning until 7:45 for the potential for damaging straight line winds in excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour. That's had a widespread history of straight line wind damage across northern Mississippi. Even though that's not a tornado warning, I need you to take that as it is a tornado warning, as these storms are doing structural damage this morning. So these are not your normal severe thunderstorm warnings. This is a very serious situation that we have on our hands here. But tornado warning continues again for central and eastern Prentiss County and central and southern Tishomingo County until 7:45. Let's see, 7:02 Doppler radar indicated a severe thunderstorm producing a tornado near Thrashers or near Booneville, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. That's the storm we've been tracking. Other severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northern areas of Hardin County until 7:45, damaging straight line winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. Possible for areas like Savannah, Crossroads, and Saltillo as it moves northeastward again at about 55 to 60 miles an hour. The entire line is capable of producing damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour and embedded tornadoes. We'll be watching other portions of the line for tornado spin-ups as well. We'll zoom back in on the rotation signature. And again, this curl in the line here, that's your area of concern over the Booneville location right now. Let's see, storm relative velocity still shows a rotation signature there on the south side of Booneville, and that's going to move northeastward toward altitude, eventually toward Halcutt, the north side of Tishomingo, and possibly as far north as Iuka, especially the southern and eastern sides down there near the airport. So if you're from Booneville back up through altitude, Halcutt, and then Iuka area, especially along and south of Highway 72, I need you in your safe place. And by safe place, if we go with a graphics 1, that means a small interior room on the lowest floor. And I see we have new tornado warnings coming out. I'll talk about that in just a moment. But go to a small interior room on the lowest floor. If you have a basement or storm cellar, that's the place to be. If not, a small interior room on the lowest floor, away from windows. Protect your head, protect your neck from from flying debris. Do not stay in mobile homes or automobiles. We have warned of this threat for a week. You have had plenty of time to formulate a safety plan so that you can get to a safe place before a tornado warning is issued if you live in a mobile home. We'll switch back to storm track Doppler radar, and I have a new circulation on the north side of Booneville altitude. It's just south of Jacinto and Rienzi that's wrapped up on radar, and that's moving off to the northeast at 55 miles an hour as well. So let's talk about this new tornado warning, because this is going to include Rienzi, Jacinto, Glenn, Mississippi, Burnsville, the north side of Iuka, Dosky, Mississippi, and Short, Mississippi. Draw a storm track on here for this rotation.
Looks like it's for the same storm. They just redrew that polygon based on it moving a little bit more northeast.
Yeah, it really looks that way from what I see on radar here.
We do have several areas of rotation, but again, the strongest one is just to the southeast
Right.
of Rienzi.
So Rienzi now on the south side, Jacinto by 7:09, Glenn by 7:13, Burnsville by 7:18, Dosky by 7:21, Short by 7:27, Eastport by 7:31. Then there's not a tornado warning for Lauderdale County, but if it holds together, Waterloo by 7:34, Walnut Grove, Tennessee area by 7:44. Again, that's your tornado signature there in far, far northern areas of Prentiss County, about to move up into southern areas of Alcorn County. Let's flip over to Vortex Storm Scan. And Drew, let's switch over to storm relative velocity so I can see the winds. And yeah, that rotation has really developed northward. Now, one thing we're going to have to caution you on, is your northern area rotation can develop, and then southeast of that, along the gust front, you can see other rotations tighten up and become dominant. So just because this first rotation has developed northeastward, do not let your guard down if you're further southward along the path, talking about New Site, Hallcut, Tishomingo, Iuka, these areas. The original rotation's moving north, but these things can redevelop and you can get a secondary rotation that becomes dominant. So we still want you in your safe place as far south as Hallcut, as far south as Tishomingo here in Mississippi. Drew, do you see anything in particular on the radar?
Not anymore. The rotation is definitely much more broad than what it was when we had the first tornado warning issued and while we come on air before the tornado warning. Still very high winds here, again, just to the east side of Booneville. I was watching a live cam in Ryansie, Mississippi on a tower cam. Lots of heavy rain there, lots of wind, but the camera's still working, so that tells me here on the northern part of the storm, they do still have power. And again, I'm not seeing anything nearly as suspicious as what we were just a few minutes ago. I keep checking for debris. I don't see anything again on our debris tracker, so if anything, I think it's turning much more into a damaging wind threat at this time than the possible strong tornado threat we had just a few minutes ago.
Okay. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for southeastern portions of Prentiss County, southern Tishomingo County, that's south of the tornado warning area, and then the remainder of Itawamba County, Mississippi. That runs until 8 a.m. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northern Wayne County in Mississippi and in Tennessee as well. So I'll tell you what, let's do a reset. Let's go to storm alert, and we'll show the watches and warnings across the area.
We've got trees on houses in Baldwin, Mississippi.
All right, so that was near that rotation area, starting to see reports of damage, so we needed to take these warnings seriously. We have tornado warnings in effect for portions of Alcorn, Prentiss, and Tishomingo counties in Mississippi. That's the counties in red. Severe thunderstorm warnings for McNairy, Hardin, and we can give an all clear for the most part for McNairy County now. But for Hardin and Wayne counties in Tennessee, and for Itawamba County in Mississippi, severe thunderstorm warnings, and all of the Shoals Weather coverage area now under a tornado watch. So Northwest Alabama, you are now under a tornado watch. Do you guys have any expiration time on the new tornado watch over Alabama and Middle Tennessee?
It goes to 1 p.m., Fred.
Okay,
also,
so
real quick, I want to mention that we have multiple
Reports of trees on houses in the Baldwin area.
all right, so like we're talking about, significant damage being reported in Baldwin, Mississippi. That was with the rotation that prompted the original tornado warning. Like we've been talking about Northwest Alabama, you're now under tornado watch till 1 o'clock this afternoon. Severe storms with a history of significant damage from straight line winds and possible tornadoes is approaching. So North Alabama, I need you on alert now. If you're in a mobile home, go ahead and move to the location of your shelter now while the storms are still approaching and you have time. I know the storms ahead of schedule. That is not reducing the risk at all. And I'll zoom out to the entire area. And I know we've been talking about don't pay much attention to the risk level that you're in, but the Storm Prediction Center has now re-upgraded the entire Shoals Weather coverage area here in orange to a level 3 out of 5 risk of severe weather. And I'll switch over to the wind probabilities. And there is a significant threat here in the pink area over Northwest Alabama, Northeast Mississippi, Southern Tennessee for damaging straight line winds of 70, 80, can't rule out 90 miles per hour straight line winds. So a very significant, very substantial straight line wind threat. And there is also an enhanced tornado threat as well, including the potential for a few strong tornadoes, EF2 or higher. But the entire Shoals Weather coverage area now back to a level 3 out of 5 risk. All right. Riley, I see you looking at Viper ThreatNet over there. Anything in particular you're watching?
A little bit of good news. We mentioned a few minutes ago we had a BTI of 7.5. That has dropped to a 6.4, and we've also seen a decrease in shear rate.
Okay.
Still 6.4 is still a significant number.
Yeah.
But it shows that potentially is weakening just a little bit.
Yeah.
Still take this thing seriously. You can't discount it just because it dropped to a 6 from a 7.
Yeah, there's still
extremely
even
significant.
if we don't have a tornado, there's still a significant straight line wind damage threat. And because of that, we still want you in a safe place. Ryenzi down to Booneville, northeastward through Glen, Jacinto, Dosky, Burnsville, Iuka, Hallcut, Tishomingo. Switch back to storm track Doppler radar here. You're in the path of widespread damaging straight line winds, possible rotations that could quickly spin up a tornado here. We'll talk about other thunderstorms that have gone severe. We haven't touched much on Wayne County yet, so let's go ahead and talk about that before the storms moved in. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern and northern Wayne County until 7:45. Damaging winds in excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour are possible along this line. You notice it has that bow echo type shape, so that is a significant threat of damaging straight line winds. We'll talk about Clifton, Tennessee by 7:15, Olive Hill by 7:16, Clifton Junction by 7:20, Leatherwood by 7:24, Waynesboro by 7:30, Ashland by 7:35, and if it holds together, Holdenwald by 7:43. Again, damaging straight line winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. Have brand new severe thunderstorm warnings going off in northwest Alabama for Lauderdale and Colbert counties. We'll get the polygon for that here in just a second. But brand new severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's flip over to the Huntsville chat, please. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15 for a large portion of western and central Lauderdale and Colbert counties. That is the yellow polygon here, and we're talking about the immediate metro. Again, not a tornado warning at this time, a severe thunderstorm warning. We're talking about Florence, Muscle Shoals, Tuscumbia, Sheffield, Colbert Heights, Littleville, as far east as Leeton and Nitrate City, the Killen area, Green Hill, Oakland, Cloverdale, Underwood, Petersville, Zip City, Gravelly Springs, Waterloo, Cherokee, Barton, Red Rock, Newsom Springs, Allsboro, Creek, Stewartsville, Waterloo. You're all under a severe thunderstorm warning now until 8:15 for damaging straight line winds of 70 to 80 miles an hour possible. With this line, this has a history of structural damage. So this is one of those severe thunderstorm warnings you want to take very seriously. Move indoors to an interior room on the lowest floor away from windows, as this could knock down widespread trees and power lines and produce structural damage. We've had reports of trees on homes. We've had reports of structural damage, reports of train cars flipped over, 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts observed. This isn't your normal little summertime type severe thunderstorm warning. This is a very serious situation. All right, since we've talked about that, now we've called out communities in the severe thunderstorm warning. We'll refocus back on our tornado warnings again here in northeast Mississippi, and I'll flip on velocity. And I'm still seeing just broad radar signatures here. It looks like the main rotation is over the Jacinto area in far southeastern areas of Alcorn County, Mississippi, and that's moving northeastward toward northern areas of Hallcut, back up toward Iuka and Burnsville, maybe as far north as Dosky and Short. Again, we want you in a small interior room, a basement or storm cellar if you have it, near the center of the building, away from windows. Get out of mobile homes, get out of cars and vehicles. Those are not safe. So tornado warnings continue in these areas. I noticed the National Weather Service has trimmed back the tornado warning in Tishomingo County. So if you're in the Tishomingo area, they've removed you from the polygon. This looks like the rotation is going to stay north of the city of Tishomingo now. And it's going to be up Highway 25, crossing Highway 25 very near Iuka, where Highway 25 crosses US 72. Again, it's a broad circulation, but it's a circulation that could tighten up at any moment. Switch back to Vortex Storm Scan, and we're looking at storm relative velocity. And that has updated now with a faster scan, and that rotation has moved up into northern areas western areas of Tishomingo County. So rotation over the Leedy area and Burnsville area now is moved out of Alcorn County. So I can really give an all clear for Payton and Tishomingo. Damaging straight line winds are possible, but the rotation threat, the tornado threat, has moved north. The tornado threat's moved north of the Hall Cut area from what it looks like. Yeah, rotation has definitely shifted north of there. And honestly, the straight line wind threat is getting focused up toward Leedy, Burnsville, and Iuka as well. Yeah, and they continue to trim the tornado warnings further north. So we're really focusing on this rotation area over the Burnsville area now, moving up towards Short and Dosky. It's going to be crossing Highway 25 here north of Iuka, in between Iuka and Short and Dosky, moving off to the northeast at 55 miles an hour, then eventually approaching Eastport, Mississippi, before it approaches northwest Alabama out here near Waterloo. No tornado warning in effect for Lauderdale or Culver counties. Severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 8:15, but the rotation has shifted north in Tishomingo County, north of Hallcut now. It looks like it's going to be from Burnsville to Iuka, northward towards Short and Dosky. I'll switch on a rotation tracker. And yeah, that's really the focus here. You see the bright reds and the yellows. That's the focus where the strongest winds, the strongest rotation is in this portion of the line of thunderstorms. So if you're in Burnsville, it's over you now. It's going to be crossing Highway 25 north of Iuka up towards Short and Dosky within, I would say, the next 10 minutes or so. And then moving out here into rural areas in northeastern Tishomingo County out toward Eastport and out toward the Tennessee River here within the next 20 minutes or so. Again, damaging straight line winds of 70 to 80 miles an hour and a possible tornado, very possible in these areas. I'll expand the radar out and look for any other suspicious signatures.
Fred, real quick, I just want to know.
Okay.
Tornado warning for Prentice and Tishomingo is canceled.
Okay. So Prentice, and we got to be clear,
Prentice, Tishomingo.
and that's southern Tishomingo. There are 2 tornado warnings that were for Tishomingo. What they've done is they've canceled the area near Tishomingo in Tishomingo County. It's still valid with the other polygon for the Iuka, Burnsville, Dosky, and Short areas. So it's a little tricky when they issue these multiple polygons in the same county. But when we say the tornado warning was canceled in Tishomingo County, that's accurate. But it's only for that area near Payton and Tishomingo. If you're in Burnsville, if you're in Iuka, if you're in Dosky, if you're in Short, if you're in Eastport, you're still under tornado warning. There were 2 that were issued. It was a southern one that's now been canceled. But we can give an all clear for a tornado warning for Alcorn County as well. They haven't trimmed it out of Alcorn County yet, but the rotation has crossed the line, and it's now off to the northeast of Burnsville. Rotation's moved out of Prentice County as well. I see you guys looking at NW's chat. Do any of you guys see anything new over there?
They said they're not planning on continuing the tornado warning unless it tightens back up.
Okay. So tornado warning remains in effect. I believe that goes till 8:15. Excuse me, until 7:45. I'm sorry, till 7:45. So here for about another 25 minutes, tornado warning for northern areas of Tishomingo County. The rotation is northeast of Burnsville, Mississippi, moving toward the State Highway Corridor north of Iuka.
State Highway 25 coming out of Iuka.
Yeah, that's 25. Sorry about that. And off toward the Eastport community, Short and Dosky in the path of this rotation as well. I want to tell you, look at the storm relative velocity here. Each scan, it gets more and more broad. So I think while we can't rule out a tornado, it really looks like it's shifting toward a damaging straight line wind threat. Switch back to storm track Doppler radar, and we'll do an overview here.
Fred, real quick.
Okay.
First responders reporting multiple trees and power lines down across McNairy County, Tennessee.
Okay, and that's what we feared when that line was moving through. We're now starting to get multiple reports of trees and power lines down, and that just confirms the seriousness of the severe thunderstorm warnings today, widespread trees and power lines are going down. We have reports of structural damage, reports of trees on homes. We've had railroad cars blown off the tracks. We've had wind gusts observed, measured by equipment as high as 79 and 80 miles an hour. So these are not your little marginal severe thunderstorm warnings. This is urgent, serious business today.
Just real quick, Fred, way out ahead of the storms, weather station just east of Waterloo, near Wright Communities, has south winds at 42 right now.
Okay.
Well ahead of the storms.
All right.
And still seeing some interesting radar signatures just to the northwest of Iuka, but that's in a real kind of a bad spot for the GWX radar. Kind of have some blockage going on there, so we're not able to see as good of a signature on rotation as I would, or on velocity as I would like. But if I would say if we have any rotation, it's going to be just to the north of Iuka now, crossing State Highway 25, going towards Eastport, and very quickly the northwestern part of Lauderdale County, very near Waterloo.
Okay. All right. We're going to focus on some of the other parts of the storm line we haven't talked about too much. Severe thunderstorm warning up for all of Itawamba County, southeastern Prentiss County, and southern Tishomingo counties. This goes until 8 o'clock. Again, damaging winds in excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour are very possible. We're talking about areas from New Site and Tishomingo back through Moore's Mill, the Belmont area, and down through Itawamba County. Some of these communities we're talking about are Kirkville, Fairview, Manatee, Fulton, Ballardsville, Tremont, Academy, and Carolina. Again, damaging straight line winds in excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour will be capable of structural damage and widespread trees and power lines down. I don't see any identifiable tornado circulations, but again, this is a situation where tornadoes can spin up rapidly with little or no advance warning, and the straight line winds themselves could do tornado-like damage. So even though there's not a tornado warning, you really want to take this seriously and move into your safe places, even though this is a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to focus back again on Wayne County, Tennessee, as the line of thunderstorms with a history of damage moves through. We're talking about from Clifton back over toward Leatherwood, Waynesboro, and the Ashland area. Damaging of 60 to 70 miles an hour also very possible in these locations. And as the line of thunderstorms approaches northwest Alabama, again, Lauderdale and Colbert counties in northwest Alabama under a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15. This includes the immediate Shoals metro area, Florence, Tuscumbia, Sheffield, Muscle Shoals, Killen, Green Hill, Zip City, Underwood, Petersville, Oakland, Cherokee, Barton, Littleville, Colbert Heights, Minot, Red Rock, Waterloo, Stewartsville, Oakland, Gravelly Springs, Lane Springs, Marjoram. All these areas, again, severe thunderstorm warning up until 8:15 for widespread damaging straight line winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour that could bring down trees and power lines. The rotation signature here, again, over northern areas of Tishomingo County is very broad. The National Weather Service in Huntsville, as Drew talked about, mentioned that they do not plan on extending the tornado warning into northwest Alabama unless the signature tightens up. But with every scan, it looks more and more broad. It's still there, but instead of a tornado, it could be that the rotation that's broad is enhancing the straight line wind potential. Again, it doesn't matter if it's an 80 mile per hour wind that's rotating or an 80 mile per hour wind that's blowing in a straight line. It's still going to do structural damage. It's still going to knock down trees and power lines. It's still going to be a danger to your life. So whether there's a tornado warning here, there's a severe thunderstorm warning here, you still need to take this very seriously. But it looks like they are going to not extend the tornado warning over into northwest Alabama unless this signature really tightens up. Riley, do you see anything new on Viper ThreatNet?
Well, past few minutes, Barron has showed an interesting, classified as a tornado with a BTI of 7, but a shear rate of 0, so straight line winds. But it's been showing that for several minutes, and as it tracks right now, it looks like it would be heading towards Tishomingo and just north of downtown Florence.
Yeah, so that's your straight line wind damage threat down there in that severe thunderstorm warning. Not really seeing any strong tornado signatures, but we're going to have to watch this line. Anywhere along this line could spin up a tornado. And like we talked about a few different times today, even though it's a line of thunderstorms and you're not seeing these large supercells off by themselves, there could be a few strong EF2 plus tornadoes embedded within the line, similar to what we saw on December 16th over the Culver Heights and the Town Creek areas. That kind of situation could happen again within the line today, and that's why you're really going to have to take this situation very seriously. Overall, as we mentioned as well, have a tornado watch in effect for all of our coverage area for Alcorn, Prentiss, Tishomingo, and Itawamba counties in Mississippi, and McNairy and Hardin counties, Tennessee. That runs till 10 a.m. Then for Wayne, Lawrence, and Giles counties in Tennessee. And then Lauderdale, Colbert, Limestone, Lawrence, Morgan, Marion, Winston, Coleman counties in Alabama. That tornado watch runs until 1 o'clock this afternoon. All right, it looks like the thunderstorm that had prompted the tornado warning earlier has really shifted up to the northeast, and we continue to lose evidence of a stronger tornado signature. Let's switch over to vortex storm scan. And if there's going to be a rotation here, it's very broad, but it's up in far northern areas of Tishomingo County, east of Highway 25 now, northwest of Eastport. We're talking about far, far northern areas of Tishomingo County in Mississippi. And the National Weather Service has no intentions of extending the tornado warning over into Lauderdale County, Alabama. And we haven't seen any signs from Memphis that they're going to extend the tornado warning over into Hardin County, Tennessee. So here in just a few minutes, we can give an all clear for the tornado threat in Tishomingo County, Mississippi, but the tornado warning remains in effect. Alcorn County, I know they haven't cleared you out of the polygon, but we can give you an all clear for any type of tornado threat. Again, the rotation in Tishomingo County, it's now crossing over the Tennessee River. It will be out in Mississippi here within the next few moments, and we haven't seen any new signatures from the National Weather Service that they're planning on issuing any tornado warnings for northwest Alabama. And the rotation tracker here, we still have the evidence of broad rotation, a straight line of wind damage, but these reds are not quite nearly as hot as they were earlier, and we don't see the yellow and orange colors that we once did as well. So it looks like the tornado potential with this has really come down, and we don't expect the tornado warning to be extended into northwest Alabama unless this decides to substantially tighten back up on radar. We'll switch to storm track Doppler radar here. But again, damaging straight line winds with the bow echo here from Waterloo back up to Walnut Grove. So if you're along and west of the Natchez Trace in Lauderdale County, I think there's an enhanced risk of damaging straight line winds over 60 to 70 miles an hour. And that's going to be shifting up in the Wayne and Lawrence counties in Tennessee. And a brand new severe thunderstorm warning being issued for Franklin County, Alabama. Let's go ahead and get ready to get details on that. Franklin County, Alabama, brand new severe thunderstorm warning is being issued until 8:30, and that's all of Franklin County. They're going to blanket all of Franklin County. Severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30. So, damaging straight line winds in excess of 60 to 70 miles an hour are very possible. And we'll call out these communities. But if you're anywhere in Franklin County, you're now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Talk about Russellville, Pleasant Sight, Red Bay, Burnout, Belgreen, Tharptown, Newburgh, Oak Grove, Spruce Pine, Isbell, Glasgow Corner, Vina, Atwood, Hodges, Phil Campbell, Duketon, all these areas, every community in Franklin County, Alabama, you're now under a brand new severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30 for the potential for damaging straight line winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. And like we've been talking about, we're going to watch rotation signatures very carefully for the potential for tornadoes to try to spin up in the line. And again, this is a situation where if a tornado spins up in the line, it could be potentially a strong tornado, EF2 or greater, similar to what happened on December 16th in Lawrence County and Colbert counties. As of right now, I don't see any tornado signatures approaching northwest Alabama. It looks like the earlier rotation has shifted over into far northwest Lauderdale County, but it's very broad. It doesn't look like it's trying to tighten up into a tornado signature. So here very soon, switch to vortex storm scan, please, Harrison. And you notice the high wind signature, the area rotation, the broad rotation has shifted out of Tishomingo County into Lauderdale County, but it's very broad. And I'll switch to storm relative velocity over here. And it just really doesn't look like it's capable of producing a tornado anymore. So since we have no new tornado warnings in northwest Alabama and the rotation has cleared out of Tishomingo County, we're going to consider the tornado threat now over with this storm for Tishomingo County, but we'll keep watching the line, keep watching for new spin-ups. But as of right now, tornado warning is technically in effect for another 11 more minutes. And what they're probably going to do, they're probably going to let that officially ride out, but it's moved out of the county. So we're going to treat it as that is over at this time. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue for northern Wayne County, and then for much of Lauderdale, Colbert, and all of Franklin counties, and then for portions of Tishomingo County. We can give Prentiss County an all clear, and severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for, let's go to Storm Track Doppler radar, please. Sorry about that. And severe thunderstorm warnings for Itawamba County, Mississippi. Again, the tornado threat has cleared out of Tishomingo County, even though there's officially a tornado warning up here for about another 10 minutes or so. That rotation's moved out. So since we have no new rotation signatures developing, and we can consider this tornado warning off the board since it's moved out of the county and weakened, we're going to go ahead and end this live stream on Facebook, but we will come back in if there are any new severe thunderstorm warnings issued. If there are any new tornado warnings issued, we'll be right back with nonstop weather coverage. But we're going to end this Facebook Live. For the entire Shoals Weather Storm Track team, I'm Fred Gossage, live in the Shoals Weather Storm Track Center. Stay with Shoals Weather. We'll keep you advised. All right, it is currently 7:38 in the morning. I'm Fred Gossage along with the entire Shoals Weather Storm Track team. We have brand new severe thunderstorm warnings in southern Tennessee we need to talk about for you. We have severe thunderstorm warnings for eastern and southeastern areas of Hardin County, Tennessee till 8 o'clock. And then for a large portion of Wayne County, Tennessee and western Lawrence counties in Tennessee, severe thunderstorm warning until 8:15. We're right on Storm Track Doppler radar, and it's the cluster of thunderstorms here in the line from Big Ivy back through Walnut Grove, moving along State Highway 69 now. This is capable of straight line winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. So if you're watching us from Walnut Grove and Big Ivy up toward Lutz, Collinwood, Clifton Junction, Waynesboro, Leatherwood, Ashland, as far west as Deerfield over here in Lawrence County, and as far south as Crossroads and Cypress Inn in Wayne County, you are now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Again, damaging straight line winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour are possible. That is enough to knock down trees and power lines, and there's been a history of that and structural damage with these storms. I'll switch over to storm relative velocity, and I still see an extremely broad area of rotation back over Walnut Grove, but it's not tight. It does not look like a tornado signature. And let's check WeatherWire and make sure that's connected, please, Harrison, because that did not pop my warnings in Tennessee. Yep. So. All right, there we go, and we got it back on there. So. From Walnut Grove and Big Ivy back toward Lutz, Collinwood, Cypress Inn, Waynesboro, Clifton Junction, Ashland, as far east as Deerfield, damaging straight line winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour. It's very broad rotation, but it does not look tornadic. But if it tightens back up, a tornado warning could be issued. We'll have to watch that very carefully. There is a tornado watch, and severe thunderstorms can and sometimes produce tornadoes with little or no advance warning. I'll switch on to reflectivity here, and this thing's moving northeastward very quickly at about 65 miles an hour. It's almost moved into the Lutz community now. It's over Olive Hill now. It's been over Walnut Grove, so we'll track this and get some communities in the path of the storm. We're talking about Lutz here within the next minute or so. Clifton Junction by 7:44, Collinwood by 7:53, Waynesboro by 7:54, Ashland by 8:02, and Deerfield by 8:09. Damaging winds again 60 to 70 miles an hour. Can't rule out an 80 mile per hour wind gust, very possible. That's the situation in Tennessee. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue for a large part of northwest Alabama. Now have Marion County, Alabama under a severe thunderstorm warning. That goes until 8:45. Now listen to me if you're in Marion County, Alabama. I know there's an issue with the wireless emergency alerts going off saying you're under tornado warning. That's happened in the past few events. We're looking into what's going on. We're not sure, but I want you to listen to me. There's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Marion County, Alabama. There is currently not. It's WeatherWire on the main computer that's going down. Let's check WeatherWire one more time. It says it's connected. Okay. So Marion County, Alabama, severe thunderstorm warning till 8:45. This is not a tornado warning. Now we're not trying to downplay that. Damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour are possible, but we've been having wireless emergency alerts going off saying there is a tornado warning in effect, and that's not the case. And we just want to make sure you're getting correct information, and you know that it's a severe thunderstorm warning, not a tornado warning in effect. So Lauderdale County, Colbert County, Franklin County, Marion County, you're under severe thunderstorm warnings in northwest Alabama. Tishomingo County, Itawamba County, you're still under severe thunderstorm warnings. I know we technically have this flashing red polygon in Tishomingo County, Mississippi for another 2 minutes. That rotation's weakened and has actually moved up in Tennessee. So you can consider the tornado warning here in Tishomingo County off the board, and that's going to be going away soon.
Fred's seeing a little bit of rotation now southwestern Colbert County.
Okay.
Not very strong, but it's enough to trigger my storm skit on the radar here. So, and it is a little interesting appendage there on the east side of that, on the leading edge of that line, right along the Natchez Trace Parkway, southwestern Colbert County.
Right. And I'm looking at storm relative velocity. You may be able to do with that with level 2, so it's higher resolution.
Again, we've
But-
got it's there, not overly strong, not overly impressive, but it's enough. Again, in this situation, we don't need overly strong to have a tornado on the ground. Again, another quick note: temperature up to 71 now in Cherokee, 70 in Red Bay, just ahead of the line of storm. So we really got the warm air.
And I see a 66 dew point over there
Yep.
as well. So,
66 on both of those.
and I'm going to tell you right now, the 71 temperature with a 66 dew point was triggering algorithms in our forecast models saying that the environment is a particularly dangerous situation, meaning that with temperatures and dew points like this, our high resolution models were saying that large, strong tornadoes would be possible with these storms. So even though the storms are moving in a little earlier than we originally thought, the environment for widespread damaging winds and strong tornadoes is still in place. So even these severe thunderstorm warnings, you really want to take these seriously. But we're talking about here within probably the next 20 minutes or so, damaging straight line winds moving into the immediate Shoals metro area. Severe thunderstorm warnings are up for Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin counties, Alabama, Hardin, Wayne, Lawrence counties in Tennessee, and Tishomingo and Itawamba counties in Mississippi. Again, severe thunderstorm warnings for all these areas. The tornado warning that had been in effect is off the board now.
We've got southwest winds at 45 in Wright, just east of Waterloo, and that is ahead still of the line of storms, just by about 3 or 4 miles. So,
All right, so let's switch to velocity one more time so we can make a decision on whether we want to hold it here or go. And since I don't see anything tight, trying to tighten up, what we're going to do, since we've covered new warnings, we're going to go ahead and end this live stream. We will come right back if we see any signs of rotation develop, if any tornado warnings are issued, even if any more severe thunderstorm warnings are issued. We'll be back non-stop with tornado warning coverage if tornado warnings are issued. For the entire Shoals Weather Storm Track team, I'm Fred Gossage, live in the Shoals Weather Storm Track Center. Stay with Shoals Weather. We'll keep you advised.